Hi everybody, welcome to this Photoshop tutorial. I'd just like to start by saying I am not saying this is the correct way for you to edit your photos. I'm certainly not saying it's the best way for you to edit your photos. This is just my way. What we're looking at today is these dark rings that you can see underneath this little girl's eyes. When the photo's been taken, the light source obviously is quite high in the sky from above, so therefore it's casting a shadow underneath the eyes, underneath the nose, wherever there's a contour in the skin. Ideally, we should have used a reflector to bounce some light back in from underneath, or use the flash to try and fill in some of the shadows. But hindsight is a wonderful thing, isn't it? The first thing we're going to do is make a copy of this layer by using Ctrl J. We're going to select this copy layer, then we're going to select our clone stamp tool with a blending mode of lighten, and our opacity 20%, that should be fine. Just make sure that you do have a soft brush, so your hardness should be down at 0%. Make sure you select on your copy layer, and we're going to zoom in a little bit here so we can see what we're doing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to press our Alt key. When we do that, you see this little target sign appears. This is basically allowing you to select the pixels you wish to use to apply to this dark area. Because we're in the light and blend mode, it's only going to affect the darker pixels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select some pixels from here. Now I'm just going to brush underneath the eye, and you'll notice that the crosshair moves with me. So our selection of pixels changes as we move through. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Again, we're only affecting the darker pixels here. Now what you want to try and do is get both sides relatively even, so the effect is about the same on both eyes. Now if I just switch that on and off, you can see what a profound difference it makes. And because it's on its own layer, you do have the option of changing the opacity. So if it's a bit too strong, you can drop it down a little bit so it looks more realistic. The last thing you want it to do is to look like somebody's got porcelain skin and there's no detail left there. A good tip is to always come down to a smaller size to view it as well. You want to make sure that it looks okay at this range as well as close up, that the effect isn't too strong, that it doesn't look too false. I would say that's probably about right. The other option you do have is sometimes you find that one eye the effect tends to be stronger on one eye more than the other. If that's the case, you can create a layer mask onto this layer. Now remember, with a layer mask, white reveals, black conceals. So at the moment, with a white layer mask, that effect that we've put on both the eyes is being applied to both eyes 100%. We can take a brush tool, make sure our foreground colour is set to black, opacity is down at 10%, which is handy, and what you can do is make sure you're selected on your layer mask, and you can actually reduce the effect on that one area just a little bit. Now if I Alt and click on the layer mask, you can see that's what we've done. Although we're using black, because our opacity is down to 10%, it's a very light grey, so we're only taking a small amount of that effect from that eye. If I zoom right in there and I disable the layer mask, if you just watch this area here, you see a very subtle change. Now, I'm not entirely sure that will show up on the video, but if I enable it again, you should see a slight difference. All we've done is just taken away ever so slightly from that effect. So there you have it. If you can, use a reflector to bounce light back in, or use a flash to fill in some of the shadows. But if you haven't got either of these to hand, at least you've got a fix for it in post. Thanks for watching. Bye.